Hello, and welcome to the My Rita Minutes. I'm My Rita. Today we were going to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Houston. Here comes the problem. This is episode 28. But first, let me get into what I need you to do. Please, please, like, share, and subscribe. The more you like and share, the more the algorithm loves me. Please. So, without further ado, the episode picks up where they left off last time with Stormy, Courtney, Tisha, and Marcel. They're playing pool. And the air in the room has gotten a little awkward, where Marcel, of course, is doing his Marcel thing. And he made the comment to Stormy that I think rubbed her the wrong way about in in your culture, you said that word is used, the B word that we were talking about. And she kind of like, it didn't, I think it hit, when it hit wrong. And her thing is what, it took her a minute to kind of react. And then she just started to go over to the side and kind of put her pool stick away. He said, I don't have time to learn other people's cultures, other adult cultures. And then Courtney is like, you gonna finish the game? You gonna do, what we came here to do? And she was like, oh, go ahead, I'll watch you. So Tisha is looking at her like, you want to invited us out for a double date. And she said, we could have stayed home. And Tisha is like just tripping, and Marcel's like, okay, like this is odd. But Courtney's talking to her, and she was like, I really have some work to do. We really need to go. And the whole vibe is off with them. She said, this double date is not going anywhere. She said she was done with Tisha's energy when she met up with her the first time, when they started to discuss the website. And it's just, they're not playing well together. And, Marcel was like, look, if we can, work on, this or whatever, he said he's fine with it. But if not, it ain't no sweat off his back. His thing is like, we won't double date with them anymore. We'll just, and teachers, we'll just stick to the regulars. But at the end of this segment, as you can see, Stormy and Courtney are gone. This is the double date that they invited Tisha and Marceau to, and they left. However, Tisha and Marceau were an hour and a half late. So that put a damper on things too, because that was just out and out rude. If you didn't want to come, you should have just canceled. You know what I mean? Anyway, they were just finishing up the scene from last week. And so next we go into our couple with the sex issue in their marriage, because someone is just selfish. Anyway, Kimmy and Maurice. She tells him that she has a surprise for him. They're having a visitor, and it is a sex therapist, which actually was intriguing to him, because he's like, oh, yeah, anything with the word, I guess, sex in it. Oh, yeah. So his thing was, well, I didn't get a chance to vet her, but we'll see what happens, So she comes in. She introduces herself. I think Dr. Natalia Fuller. I think that's what that says. Anywho, she's letting them know that, she's there to help them. She said a lot of times it's about communication. And she said she's going to meet with them separately, get everyone's feel, and then bring them back together. So she separates them. She tries to find out what their intimacy levels are. I think Kimmy said hers was a 4. Maurice said his was like a 2 or 3. So it's right there. They're both right there. And her thing was because I think she asked Kimmy what her love language was. And Kimmy was like, well, my love language is acts of service. She said when we first got together, he was more of like a handyman. I like to see him lay tile and hang tile and lay floor or whatever. And, and she said she just knew that coming from a world of a single parent, parent having to do everything on her own, it would feel good to have someone to actually take the load off of her. And in that instant, I guess it just hit him that the reason why she likes for him to do that is that is her love language. And his thing, oh wow, he said I'd never heard you put it that way before. He said I never equated the fact that maybe you were coming from a single parent household, and now that you have someone to share the responsibilities with, so you don't have to do everything by yourself, was what you were, I guess that entices her. So anywho, he was like, you gonna get a lot of exercise now. Now that he understands what he needs to do. Oh my goodness. Anywho, but I think this first session went well for them. The doctor basically gave them some homework, and she said, you all need to get close. She said, just sit on his lap, straddle him, just talk about anything, look each other in the eyes. Because you have to connect. She said, you'll have to reconnect and rejuvenate this piece of your relationship. And she said, it's going to take time and a lot of patience. And so that was their first session. I guess it went pretty well because you see out throughout the episode, later part of the episode, they try with their technique that they learned later on. The next scene, they all meet up at this cowboy themed restaurant. The Fletchers have invited everyone out because they want to introduce a group trip to everyone, and they've invited everybody. Everybody on the cast is welcome to come. And she says it's not going to work unless everybody comes. So they're not taking no for an answer. And they announced that she was passing out cowboy hats, and they're like, what about what's going on? Why are we getting these hats? These are dope. Da, 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 da. So she said, y'all ready? And she said, we're going to Houston. And I don't think that we got really an overwhelming response. I don't know what they thought, but they said, we're going to Houston and we're going to have fun. And I'm looking forward to it. So everybody will be there. She extended the, including this guy, who's this? Martell. Melanie basically says, I don't have a problem going. She said, but I want to make sure that, everybody knows, or at least the Fletchers know, that I need to be on the East Wing if he's going to be there so he can be on the West Wing. Just do not bring us together. She said, I can get along. She said, I can, she can cohabitate wherever he is, just as long as he's on the other side of the world. So everybody's like, everybody okay with everybody cool? And the camera flashes over to these two because Stormy is not really feeling it. She really doesn't want to go anywhere with anybody. She doesn't get along with Mel. And now it's Tisha. So the only ones that she's really talking to are the Fletchers, Kimmy, and I guess Maurice, and Kiki. And then, of course, the other men or whatever. But anyway, they're sitting there and they're like, I don't know. So, Kimmy says, "Are y'all gonna be okay?" Talking to Courtney and what's the name, Stormy, and she said, "Yeah, I guess we all right." And she said, "What do you mean? You don't seem too thrilled or whatever." She said, "Let's talk over here." So, um, oh, back up a little bit. So, they wanted to know if the Whitlows were coming because they make the good drinks. So Nell says, "Yeah, they were invited." And so she said, "Yeah, because we need the Whitlows." So Nell said, "Are you ready?" She said, "She looking forward to it." So Kimmy takes Stormy aside and starts talking to her about, oh, no, I don't want this on here. Kimmy starts talking to Stormy, and her thing is, she told her how the conversation went when she met up with Tisha. She said she was met with, it's not her fault, which just rubbed her the wrong way because Tisha did not own that. She really didn't. And it left, I guess, a bad vibe when they were discussing the whole copy paste of the return policy or whatever she copied off of Stormy's website for Canvas Beauty. So she was just like, I don't know. She said the vibe is different. She said, like, we're okay, like when they came in, they were giving hugs or whatever. She said, and after we finished that, it's like this awkward silence, and then here comes the energy back again. She said, I don't know. So Kimmy was like, well, you need to, when you go, treat your room like an oasis. Like that's your room where you can get away from all of the hoopla. Just go there, and that's your free your safe space, basically. And she was like, okay. She said, I like that advice. So when they switch over to Tisha, and she's trying to explain to Mel and Nell about the whole website thing. And so Mel said, yeah, I did hear about that. And Tisha act like in her confessional, act like she got mad about the fact that Stormy was talking to Mel about it. She said, I thought we were over. She said if she would have still had a problem with it, she should have said something. Don't talk to Mel about it. She has a problem with Mel still too. Even though they're supposed to be okay now, but doesn't sound like it. Anyway, so she said, I let her know. She said, my team, they missed it. My assistant said she read through it. She, and they didn't. She said, and I wasn't hands on. And I should have been more hands on. And Mel said, yeah, because if they had read it, they would have read that. She said, I know, I agree, but I honestly don't think that anybody read anything. I believe Tisha did that website herself. She didn't read it. And, or if she did leave it to the interns, her team, how old is her people? I feel like if her assistant or her personal or her manager or her person that was helping her with the Mila and Macy uh, getting the orders out and everything, you'd think that she was competent enough to read the verbiage that's on the website. So I'm kind of thinking that not Kimmy, Tisha's not taking full responsibility for this. Doesn't sound like it. Anyway, so Mel asked, well, are y'all gonna be okay on the trip? And Marcel says, yeah, they gonna have to get over it. We'll be fine. And she said, oh, okay. All right, y'all okay. Then that's great. She don't have a problem with it either. So they cut over to the guys, and the guys are sitting there and they're saying, we're gonna, hook up and do our things. We're gonna stay separate from the women, do our own little thing. And Martell says, well, I don't have no woman, no way. So Chris Fletcher pipes up and says, yeah, your woman don't even have your name anymore. And then Martell, I guess he didn't take the name change ceremony really seriously because he asked. He said, was it done legally? He didn't believe that she was changing her name still, even after the ceremony, because why would you ask that? And Chris said, yeah, she read it at the ceremony. And it just hit him then that she is no longer a Holt. He really thought that she was doing something just to spite him. But did he really think that she was having a ceremony and not really changing her name legally? Like, was that really a question? When he said it, I was like, Martell. Anyway, so yeah. He said, did she change it legally? I was thrown off with that comment. But anywho, so they was like, well, you're not bringing nobody. You're not, what do you, I forgot the word that Maurice said. He said, you're not, what did he say? Migrate. It wasn't migrate. Important. Did he say important to anybody? He said, you're not important to one or whatever. And he was like, no. So anyway, they get on Marcel so much. So they cut over to Nell and Mel. And they're like, her thing is, she's pleading her case. Just keep me away from Martell as far as possible. She said, I don't have a problem. She said, I want to be on the East Wing. He can be on the West Wing. We can coexist that way. She said, otherwise, he has to stay on his side of the world. And I was like, okay, we've already discussed this with him, and I think everybody's in an agreement and understands. She was like, good. So then they cut over to them going to Houston, and they bring it on like a small, like sitcom type thing, which was really cute. And they all have like their own like Western names. Like Mel was Saloon Slinger Sally, and then they brought up Martell. Martell was Tantrum Todd. That fit him so perfect. Tantrum Todd. That is cute. And they have Tisha and Marcel. Slippery Pete and Grumpy Gus. Oh my God. That is so fitting. So fitting. And then Curly, because he's bald. I guess. I don't know. And Whiskey Lips. Whiskey Lips? I guess. I see the Curly. Curly. I don't know if I see the they're all right. I don't know if I like those names, but I guess it works. And Courtney and Stormy of Wildcat Willie and Twitchy Trigger. Twitchy Trigger is perfect for Stormy. Yeah, Courtney's not really Wildcat unless they're working on the opposite. Because ain't nothing wild about Courtney because he's so laid back and docile. But yeah, Twitchy Trigger. And that is like the perfect capture for her because she's always looked like she's kind of scared. got an attitude. And then we have Rusty Razor and Juggle Spurs. Juggle Spurs? I don't know. Rusty Razors. I guess he goes, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, this is the house that they're staying in. And it's really pretty. They show the inside, and all the rooms are gorgeous, especially the master bedroom. And I think it has a pool. So when Nell and Chris get there, they go off and say, let's find our room first before everybody gets here, because we need to have the best room. So they go through all the rooms and they come to the master bedroom. It's beautiful, really, really laid out, spacious, really nice. And Nell goes, well, I need to make sure I can get my girl Mel straightened out, because she even indicated, she was like, because she's the queen. I heard the statement. And Chris said, Mel will be fine. This is our room. Their thing is, their trip. They're sponsoring it. This is our room. So right after they come in, Mel comes in. So she's like, hey, how you doing? Everybody looks nice. And she said, yeah, we just found our room, whatever. And I think they go in the kitchen. And I want to say Mel asked, like, where was her room or whatever. And Nell's like, we got it all situated. We got it all, picked out or whatever. And Chris said, you and my brother going to be together. And she's like, wait, what? Nell said, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. And she said, hold on. Let me get one thing straight right now. She was like, don't put our names together. This is not fun and games anymore. There's no joking. It's not, at this point, there's no joking matter anymore. She said. And he said, do you understand? He said, she said, is that okay with you? He said, oh, yeah, Miss Rogers. She said, okay, we're good. She said, it's all about communication. She said, I'm setting my boundaries. Do not do that. Right? So the next couple I think that comes in, I want to say is Kimmy and Maurice. No. Boom. Martell comes in after her. And Chris answers the door, and he was like, who's here? And he said, Mel. He said, all I hear is Mel. And he said, are you saying Mel or Mel? He said, Mel. He said, okay. He said, she's downstairs or whatever. He was like, okay. He said, I can be. And in his confessional, he said, I can be where Mel is. He said, I don't have a problem with speaking with her. She's fine. Yeah, I guess you don't have a problem speaking to her, because she's not doing nothing dirty to you. You the one taking her to court for craziness, allegedly. And I think they did go to court for, I think he did take her to court for sole custody of the kids. And I think this is happening. This is going on during what they're going through or whatever. I think this might be going on at that particular time. And Mel has no tolerance for him right now. Actually, she pays him dust this first episode of them being in Houston. She's like, So I guess Nell comes back upstairs with Melody, and she sees Martell. So Nell goes over to him to hug. She said, oh, you going over there? I'm gonna go over there. I'll just show myself the house. And he goes, hey, Mel. And she's like, throws the peace sign. He said, oh, well, she threw me the peace sign. He said, I'll take that. And at this point, he'll take any type of communication from Mel, because he is desperate for her to speak to him. I don't understand, man. They need to just leave you alone. Anywho, so the next couple that comes in is Kimmy and Maurice. And they arrive, and they were saying that Tisha and Marcel was on their same flight, so they should be pulling up soon. And then, everybody's greeting each other. Then the next couple to arrive is Tisha and Marcel, and they get out the truck with all these bags. And so Marcel says, "Do we have a butler? Ain't nobody around here butlering, whatever." He said, "Who's supposed to take this luggage?" No, teacher said, "Who's supposed to pick this luggage up these steps?" He said, "Guess Marcel." So they come in. Teacher still has on her cowboy hat that was given to her at the cowboy themed restaurant. Everybody's hugging or whatever. She said, "So now, well, Chris, one of them said, let's go take a look at the rooms." So they come and look at the rooms, and the rooms are, everything is nice. It's just small. Everybody can't have a master, right? So they go and look at the rooms, and every room is they're saying is a Jack and Jill room, meaning I guess they share a bathroom. So Kimmy goes, she says, "I really like the house. It's nice and spacious. It's big." She said, "I like the property." She said, "My room is warm." She said, "My room is warm." She said, "I have to share a bathroom with Marcel." So anyway, so I guess everybody's okay with their room. And so they pan over to Kimmy and Maurice, and they're in their room and getting changed because they're hungry. They're trying to work on their homework that the therapist gave them. And her thing is, I don't like this internet stuff that you put out here. She said, because you didn't protect me. And she says, I'm getting questioned by my mother. And she says, I don't like the fact that you being sloppy out here. She said, everything's on the internet about you having sex with your wife who has cancer. And you didn't protect me. So she said, you're out here doing the interviews. And I think what happened, they did click back to when he was on the reality with Carlos King, with the King. And that's when he made his controversial statement about, Kimmy is doing an admirable thing as a spouse. She just rolls over and takes it. I feel like that's her, I'm there for her, and that's her way of being there for me, which was so insensitive. Everybody was talking about that. But obviously he realized that, he put his wife out there for no reason and it wasn't necessary. And I guess this was like a redemption video or scene, because he apologized. He said he thought maybe I had to apologize to my wife. He was like, no, my mother is asking me questions. My mother wants to know what's going on over there. She said, my family is like, what the hell is going over in that house? And he said, I didn't take into consideration of the collateral damage that it brought on. He said, I don't have, she said, well, okay, well, what are you going to say to my mom? And they sit there and they practice their therapy position. Plus, he talks to her and tells her what he's going to say, what he's going to practice saying to her mom, and I apologize and let her know that it's not going to happen again, type thing. And I thought that was cute, the way they did that. I mean, Kimmy wanted to bring that around so it looked like she wasn't just being the mattress mule, as one of the other content creators call her. I like her comment. I like her content. I really trip off of all of her nicknames for the people on the cast. Anyway, this was a good scene for them. Hopefully we won't have to address this again. I know they're still going to be talking to the therapists and things like that, and then hopefully they'll get past this. But I really want to know where Monster is. I really want to know where his client list is. And I really want to see him in action as a lawyer. Okay? Okay. The next scene is Tisha and Marceau. And she's basically, saying how she ran into Tiffany and The reason why Tiffany and them weren't coming is because, she's dealing with, postpartum, and it is a real thing. And she said, and I saw baby A. She said, he's just the cutest thing, which spun into the conversation of her taking a pregnancy test. And his thing was, you took a pregnancy test? She said, yeah. She said, well, I've been sick. And I was feeling like that. She said, the last time I felt like that, I was pregnant. And he's like, Tisha. And she was like, what? What are you thinking? Or something like that. And he said, well, the first thing that would have come to my mind was not that if you were pregnant. He was like, I would want a blood test. And she said, and I would leave your butt right after the blood test came back. He said, how you going to leave somebody that's already left you? I tell you, these two right here, I don't know what to say. I mean, what do you say? Anyway, she was like, I don't like the way this conversation is going. She said, it happens. People that have had vasectomies. She said, you need to Google it. He said, he said, and I'm the gaslighter? He said, is this how you feel when I talk to you? So, Marcel, you admitting that you're a gaslighter, that you gaslight Tisha? Because obviously you just admitted that that's what you do. He said, is this how you feel when I talk to you? Oh my God, are you doing a Marcel? On a Marcel? And Marcel is funny. I can't stand him, but he is comical. Oh my God, he's comical. Anywho, she says, well, I don't like this conversation. We're going to stop this right now. She said, because I don't like where you're taking it. And it goes off. This is the last thing. I don't know. What you think, guys? I feel like we have, I think they said, how many episodes is it? I want somebody said it was 33 because we're at episode 28. I guess it's 5 more, either 4 or 5 more. Anyway, they need to hurry up and bring this to a close because I'm tired. I'm really tired. And I think they are too. It's like, well, you can't drag out this whole story. You can't. And I think they're filming again for the next season because I remember I seen Melanie. They don't take a break. They don't take much of a break. This show or this reality show. This reality show, they take like their hiatus in between this in the middle of a season is longer than what they break for between one season to the next. It's crazy. Real crazy. Anyway, that's all I got, guys. Please, again, can't get this off here. Wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. That's all I have. Please like, share, and subscribe. And leave something in the comments if you feel like there's something I could do better. I don't care if you critique my videos. I'm new at this. So I am very good with taking constructive criticism. Don't troll me. Don't just out and be ignorant if you're not going to bring any value to what my videos can be going in the future. And I know those people are going to be out there too. But whatever feedback you got, I'm open to constructive criticism. I'm not, my skin is thick, trust and believe. But don't come for me. Petty Betty. Anyway, y'all, enjoy the rest of your day.